So hello everybody.
Hello. Welcome to another episode of The Shade's Tale, an Ironclaw 2nd Edition role-playing game. I'm just pulling up my mood music because it puts me in the mood. But yeah, so let's start off with a quick recap of what happened last week. We had a pretty long combat, and there were some, moves made, and then we're going to go into discussing our characters, their current goals and mottos, and then we'll get into the thick of things and play some Ironclaw. So yeah, last time, highly abbreviated, you guys were investigating the woods, from whence a group of rat bandits had attacked a village outside of the Avoirdupois abbey town of Harmony. These rat bandits set fires and they didn't steal anything. So you were investigating to find out more because you believed that they were involved with the burning of the signal tower in the town of Harmony. So Anushka did some surveillance. You guys discovered a region of the wood that seemed rife with bandit camps and hideouts. You attempted to stealth your way towards the location of the leader's barracks. But along the way, your hapless minions made enough noise to attract an ambush. You guys were attacked. You managed to slay most of your attackers and escape. And you decided that you didn't want to risk going any further. You grabbed one of the attackers' cloaks and you decided to hightail it back to Harmony. Once there, you ran into the abbess, the head of the Harmony Abbot, named Colette, standing down the captain of the signal guard, a horse named Raymond, in another shouting match. And it seems like Raymond was taking his remaining members of his guard and going out witch hunting. He believes that a witch was responsible for burning the signal tower, and he wants to reclaim what shred of honor he has left by going out and bringing back her head. Colette thinks that he's way off base, and you guys interjected and basically shared your findings and told them about the this bandit group that seems to be involved in the attacks. You managed to convince Raymond, and Anushka sent a missive out to Chalon-sur-Saudre, the capital city of the Avoirdupois, requesting backup so that they can adequately search the forest. And let's see. In the meantime, Theta's character and Griffin's character met with Colette, the abbess, and Colette told them that she doesn't believe that this is truly the work of the Doloro. She believes that there's something else going on. And when you mentioned the name Rodolfo, a name that you had heard as perhaps a wizard who was involved in the burning of the signal tower attack, she says that she's heard that name before, and that she would come back to you with more information. Pretty sure that's all the important information. So let us begin with Theta. Theta, why don't you tell us a little bit about your character, their motto, personality, and tell us about the goals that you currently have.
I am Harmon, a donkey soldier. My personality is relentless. My motto is I am stronger. I have the goal to send a message to the syndicate and advertise the witch wine, and I don't think I have anything else.
That's right. Last time you guys completed your investigation of the signal tower burnings, so we'll talk about gifts when we get started. New gifts, anyway. All right. Next up, we have Arkloyd, who is playing Connor, the Raccoon Knight.
Yes, I am Arkloyd. I play Connor Laverde Ecrevis. His personality is brazen. The motto is one hand washes the other. I have the same goals as Harmon.
All right. And next we have Griffin. Griffin is playing Anonymous, a nameless monk. Monk, take it away.
That's right. I'm playing Anonymous, the Armadillo Almoner. My motto is first do no harm, second get paid.
All right. And next we have Rafferty, who is playing Anushka.
Yes, I am playing Anushka, the microbat messenger. My motto is know no fear and serve with joy.
All right. Okay, so first things first. I believe Oh, first things first. You guys got me the official map of Calabria, so we can work with this from now, which might make certain things easier to, certain distances easier to measure and understand. I put a little marker here. Hopefully, you guys can see that okay. Because currently, you guys are most of you are at Harmony, the Avoirdupois border city, border town. You can see Chalon-sur-Solde is down here, Chalon-sur-Solde. And I'm not sure exactly where we left off, if Anushka had returned yet or not, but I think you guys had a few days in Harmony while you were waiting to hear back from news from the capital about the reinforcements that you had requested. So if there is anything that you guys would like to do with that time, now is the time.
Connor. I think I need Connor's help with something.
Okay.
Because you're good with talking, I assume. It's your job, so I'm assuming you're good at it.
Let's see here.
I mean, regardless of if you actually are or not, being the noble, I think you're the one Harm is going to go to. Say, I think I need your help. See if anybody around here knows anything about the syndicate.
Yes, I can pry for you if you wish.
On a side note, I have really restrained myself to not add little dots along the map to show off the path that we've walked along so far, like a family circus cartoon.
If that is something you want to do not let me stop you. I'm all for it.
But yeah, that's what I go with Connor with.
Okay, Connor. What would your approach be to find this information out? You've already made your acquaintance with probably the major players in the town, but there are taverns and inns here. There are working class folk and also people who work at the abbey, so religious acolytes and such.
Right. Well, I figure I could throw in some etiquette and just roll my base mind, because I don't have any gossip to do any sort of information searching.
Okay. A gossip would definitely go a long way here, but without that, you could still roll your mind. Yeah, that sounds good. Why don't you give me one of those rolls?
Hold on, I'm looking up how to spell etiquette, but I'll just call it ET. You know what it is.
Yeah, that works.
All right, and I may have to throw in nobility on this at the end of the day, but let's see.
Hey.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that is 2 successes. All right. Okay, so you spend the better part of a day, maybe an afternoon, chatting up the local folk, and you find the following pieces of information. Just scroll to my notes here. Okay. You have... All right. Of the people you speak to, this notion of a nameless syndicate that has been attacking import traders and merchants, most of them are unawares, but you do come across one. Let's see. You do come across a weasel who is a traveling merchant. He says that he does not work with the Dubois Company, but he does, or he is not a member of them, but he has worked with them. He has bought wares off of them before to resell when he has been closer to the eastern shoreline of the Avoirdupois territory. And he says that he's heard these rumors of them being attacked by a group of shady foreigners, essentially. This seems to be, the current fear is that they're going to put the Dubois Import Company out of business. He says that he is, luckily he hasn't come across any such people here in this part of the land, but he fears that they're growing in is this? He fears that they're growing in strength in the borders. We have Ascetic, in Connor's hometown of Fermarouge, and also in Conscience. These major trading spots are currently being they're hotbeds of activity for this shady syndicate group. And I apologize if my mic is picking it up. It is recycling day, so there are loud tracks out back. That's probably me.
And if you hear anything in my background, they're running lawnmowers outside.
There you go.
I just assumed that Arcloid's new fire background was to hide that he's actually riding a bus. He's a bus driver now.
Oh, you thought that you could hear
Like
that?
I have no idea. I was busy tracking our path across Triskellion 3 quarters forward to the, my little
I love it.
family circus map of where we've been.
Well, there's some activity in Fermarouge and Ascetic we could look into for you.
Oh, god damn it. We've been there. I'd known that while we were there.
Well, with my insider of the Smiths and my character's general rapport around Fermarouge might be able to get some more information if we ask in a more focused manner than we had before when we were there.
Well, it's more important to know that they're there than it is to get more information. Right now, anyway. Seeing how far away we are. Next time you're home, we'll act on this. But right now, we are a considerable distance away.
All right. And also, Connor, you had basically sent word that you were looking for a few good men, right? Or they had sent word that they were coming to join you in Harmony?
Yeah.
All right. Do you have those? This is going to be your gang of irregulars, is that correct?
Yes, if that's the gift I gained from our last goal, then yes.
All right. Well, they might need a couple days to get there, but do you have those characters in mind?
I hadn't built any yet, but if you want me to, I can get on that. It's going to be pretty simple. Just pick a species and career.
Yeah, totally. In fact, I'm more concerned with just who they are narratively speaking and who they are to you. Of course, we can improv this if it comes up, but also, if you have specific ideas in mind, and if you haven't figured it out yet, then definitely think about it.
Well, I was thinking either soldiers, militiamen, or maybe other knights, but I've already got, Potter. It might end up being noble and Connor being noble, so we don't really need any other leaders in the group.
That's going to take time, though, remember. Had that conversation last time. Also, is it still a roll to determine how many irregulars you get in Ironclaw V2?
Yeah. And it's gossip, so I'm going to end up having to get me some gossip.
Right, your ally helps you as well, I believe, right?
Yeah, but the ally doesn't have gossip. Do they still help?
I thought they got an automatic 1 on that, didn't they? Sorry, my memory of gang regulars comes from Myriad Song, which is my problem.
Yeah, that's from Myriad Song, I think. Although Potter does have team players, so he could help me without.
I gotta say, that lawnmower sound is perfect sci-fi background. It's all.
I'm gonna quick look up Gang of Irregulars. I know that
it just says your ally assists. It doesn't say that they give you an OMAC.
Okay.
Well, the ally assist bonus is a D8.
Right, but they don't. Since they don't have gossip was the problem. I would argue that the ally, if they had gossip, would be able to rote, right?
I would also. I mean, we were a lot more restrictive because we were afraid of players. Usually, if your ally could, this is another one of those role playing things. Your ally could assist, they would assist. If you're in the if the ally is a city person, they can assist you in the city and not in the Wildenland.
All right. I'll take that to heart whenever I run a game.
Yeah, tell those people mowing your lawn to come back in 8 hours. To really use that as a background for the only war game.
Okay. Well, it says so. Yeah, at the beginning of your play session, you'll get one of these guys showing up at least, and then you could get one more if you roll your mind and get a success with it. It would be mind and gossip, right? But you don't have gossip currently. And I guess, sorry, because I was distracted. We decided that your ally gives you an automatic success as well. Got to read ahead here.
If it's
Your
appropriate,
ally
yeah.
Okay.
They
If
would,
it's appropriate.
your ally would give you a D12 bonus if your ally was a team player.
And he is.
I think the problem is that you're going for soldiers and everything from a town or a city, and Potter, as we all know, is a farmer.
Yeah, in this case, I think that they're coming here for you, Connor, and not because of anything that Potter did. He's kind of a sidekick in this instance.
So I should not include him?
Yeah, just roll your mind. You'll get at least one, and you might get another one.
I may throw my nobility.
He does add a D8 regardless. Or D6, doesn't he? D6?
For the ally?
No, he adds a D8 to your roll. Sorry, my mind just right there. Because he's assistant.
I think
Potter
I'm gonna...
assistant gives him a D8.
I was going to throw wealth in there, but that's been tapped.
Yep.
So, well, there you go.
All right.
So
there you go.
Again, you still got Potter, though. Potter does assist you with his assistance.
So, yeah, roll a D8 as well.
Well, yeah, a D8.
Oh, yeah, that's a D8, D12, because he's a helper, right? He's a team player, yeah, because he's a farmer.
So
he was
a
farmer.
Used to him getting people killed that I just assumed he's not a team player.
All right. All right, so that will get you
He doesn't play
3.
well with others, but he's still a team player.
He has nothing to say when you're in danger.
Yeah. Triage is not his area of expertise, I guess.
Triage. Literally, all he needs to give you is a couple of words to boost your morale, and he ain't got it.
You know what? I'm gonna throw my personality on this.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because he might stick around longer than the next respite. So it's kind of worth it.
What's Connor's personality?
Brazen. So he's just really being out there with it. And
what's the most brazen thing that you added to that note that you sent?
Yeah.
The most brazen thing. Basically something to the tune of, if you've ever wanted to commit treason and get away with it, now's your chance.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty brazen.
That's fairly brazen.
I was thinking you were going to come up with something like Conan, like, send me help, and if you don't, to hell with you.
To hell with you. Great. Okay. That looks like 3 successes, right? Right? Yep. So you get 1 automatically, so that means that a crew of 4 motley, I assume raccoons, if they're working for your family. Oh, they could be mercenaries too. So you can decide that one, I suppose. But 4 motley mercenaries arrive in town, I'm going to say at the earliest, like 3 days later. Perhaps they were, on the road when the message came through. And yeah. Do you have any ideas for how these guys should be looking or acting? I can take the wheel on this one too, but if you have desires, let them be known.
Well, I'd say they're either they're probably going to be well equipped men at arms at the very least. So at least leather armor. I'm saying that because chain is either expensive or extravagant, and it's too heavy for anybody without strength. So leather armor, good clothes, common clothes though. Armed with sword and shield and slings if they have ranged combat.
Okay, I like that. All right then. I'm going to say for the time being, they're all raccoons for simplicity's sake. That gives us some gifts to work with. And when they stroll into town, they look basically ready for war. They're wearing the colors of the Lavier family, so they seem to be loyal to your household. And they take a look at the burnt scaffolding that used to be the signal tower, and at the large stone abbey. One of them, the head of the group, I would assume, lets out a whistle. Let's get him a name. We will call him. We'll call him Remy. I like Remy. All right, Remy the raccoon. Remy is he's got some scars on him. He's definitely served his house with honor and dignity. He asks one of the townsfolk to lead them to you, and when they present themselves, they do so. They take knees, they bow in front of you, and they say, "Sir Connor, we received your message, and we come to serve at your pleasure. Do with us what you will, and we will gladly put our lives on the line in pursuit of your goals." And yeah.
Thank you. Your loyalty is well noted and will be rewarded. And in fact, because they spend some time traveling here, let me take a quick look at how much it costs to pay a typical. Because one of my GMs found in the main book that you do have to pay your irregulars, so I'm going to be looking that up.
Hey, you don't have to pay them. They just want to hang around.
Think you're a cool hero, they want to be a part of it.
That's why they're called irregulars. If you're not paying them, they have to get
irregulars.
money somehow. Yeah, they're irregulars. I mean, you could have just gotten a bunch of pickpockets and thieves. They paid themselves.
That is true.
What are you looking at, like 2 dinar a day? If you consider them skilled labor, I mean... Oh, no, wait, I don't know. That's for a 2d6 person.
You could promise them...
Yeah, that's what they would be.
Yeah, usually it's 2 dinar a day for skilled labor. Are your irregulars skilled?
I would say they're men at arms.
Like soldiers or militiamen.
Yeah, battle pay is skilled.
Soldiers?
There you go. So yeah, you would know that common wages for these guys would be 2 dinar a day. But it seems like they're more interested in action. They came here on the promise of glory on a mission that would test their unique skills, and really they're inspired by you. Word of you has gotten around since you made your grand declarations at the Archduke's banquet in Chalon-sur-Saldre, and people see you as someone who's mixing things up. They want a part of that. So they will decline offers of payment at first unless you persist with them.
Well, I'll be sure to.
I mean, if you're nobility, then and you have an estate, then the people on your estate have to pay taxes, and taxes can be money, which is hard to get in before capitalism takes off, or it can be service. So these guys could be, because you have nobility and wealth and gang of irregulars, these could be, hey, you guys, I need all the able-bodied soldiers to come by. This will be your taxes for the next few months.
All right, then that's how I'm paying them. By saving them money by switching to Geico.
There you go.
If only you were a gecko.
Now, I mean, the issues of morale we could have had a big complicated thing. I mean, morale will come up when the killing starts.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's now.
Starts right now.
Remember, evil can strike at any time, like right now.
Yep. Doloru ninjas descend from the trees.
No, it's the moles. They dig up from under the ground.
From underground. There you go.
Usavi.
I love how you say that, like Doloro ninjas from the trees. No. The Doloro send the trees to kill you
There
themselves.
you go. Yep.
Run, Forrest, run.
Oh man. All right.
It's pun action.
There it
time.
was. Okay. So, yes, I want to pitch it over to Anushka and the anonymous doctor for a moment there. If there's anything that you guys would like to be doing during this time, let me know.
Why, yes, Doctor, you have lots of pretentious presence, right?
Well, you see, I'm not so much at enhancing my own presence, but that of others, you see.
Well,
I
here.
can give you a rousing sermon.
Yes, that might work. Here's a big handful of flyers. Start passing these out.
Oh. And I'll go pass out the flyers.
People, do you want to escape your dreary lives? Are you tired? Do you find the burden of life being nasty, brutish, and short? Well, worry no longer, for you can spend your days in intoxicated bliss.
I
In the
like
middle of
it.
nowhere in a remote location. Far
I'm not sure
removed from civilization.
I'm not so sure that's the kind of pitch we want, but Salomere would love for you to get a job. Come here, come on, come all.
Very little liver damage, if any, has been reported.
Surgeon General's warning. All right.
We are the worst criers in existence, I think.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
Well,
How's your
next
presence
word,
looking?
You see,
I have average will. What about you?
I have better than average will.
Well, then there we go. We're not the worst.
Okay, I'm looking to see, like, on a tax return, if I can give you any other possible thing that I can think of here.
Oh no, I have absolutely no bonuses to this. I'm totally terrible at this.
The only way I could claim anything here would be leadership, wherein I encourage people to go out and get drunk as the ways of the Orcamancy.
Hey, what's your motto again?
Do no harm and get paid.
Well, okay, this is the get paid part, but this is the get paid part. Do no harm part.
Well, I mean, getting drunk and having fun is just a part of life.
Are you an
I wouldn't call that harm.
You've guessed correctly.
Are you're an Orcamine? Wow, I thought you were from a real religion.
I mean, I do occasionally read some of the scriptures of the Hyperdulia, but my favorite ones happen to be also be the ones who go and get drunk.
That much better. Real religion's about suffering and unpleasantness.
Well, if I wanted people to suffer and be unpleasant, I wouldn't be a doctor.
Well, you too can shake off the unpleasantness of life with witch wine. Yes, brewed by witches. Vented by witches. Not brewed at all. That would be beer, which this isn't.
These flyers have words on them?
I assume so.
I think so. I mean, but there's not
some
leaning
sort of,
on the words.
I say there's not any like common pictures or anything they could
identify. Like a picture and a map. Especially on a map, I think.
Like a picture of somebody drinking wine and then a map to the location where the wine can be had.
I assume that the witch probably improvised the printing press through a wine press, because I don't know how she got her own printing press. And I assume it's one of those medieval kinds of pictures where it's some kind of like weird kind of like boar-like figure next to circles and carrying some sort of oblong shape. And then it's been printed and reprinted so many times that the ink is blurred, so we have no idea what any of this crap is.
I mean, she could just be up all night scribing individual pamphlets.
I doubt she did that.
Well, I mean, which is more believable? That she invented the printing press? Or that she's...
Oh, no. The printing press exists in Ironclaw.
Does it?
Type doesn't exist in Ironclaw.
Oh, I assumed that we had, like, scribes specifically doing all of this because books are super rare and individually
You probably still do have scribes doing that in many cases.
Yeah, I mean, they are rare, but the big deal is every plate has to be engraved. It's movable type that's the big crazy. Like, Gutenberg didn't invent the press. He invented movable type. And he didn't invent movable type. He invented movable type that actually freaking worked. So, they have the printing press. So, I mean, like these wizard books you get, like the Testaments of Heloise, these are printed.
But anyway, I was asking about words because Is there any law against just you flying up into the air and just dropping pamphlets? Like by the...
I've been getting in trouble for this, but yes, there's always a law. There's a law against everything.
Well, I mean, in a world where they're just throwing their shit out their windows onto the streets,
There's a law against that too.
Yeah, but they're doing it though, and how is this going to trace back to you? Just throw your pamphlet, let the wind take it.
Let me
Aerial
put this around by
solicitation.
explaining what the law is. It's not that there's a law against it. It's that there's a tax on it. So when people show up and ask, "Hey, do you live here?" I say, "No." And they say, "Well, that means you don't pay taxes here, right?" I say, "Well, not as such, no." I say, you're spreading flyers without having paid the crier tax. You're under arrest.
Yeah, I was just about to suggest I just give some of my money to a crier and say, "There's some wine. You go here to get it. Dark it up. Here's a sip."
I do love that guy from the Popeye movie.
Anushka,
Right.
I have a better plan. Run!
I'm gone. I'm off like a prom dress. I mean, yeah, we would eventually get yelled at. Because also, like, the other thing people forget is people love to use the word guild. What is the guild? What does that mean? It means there's a criers guild who authorize all official criers and train them in how to cry. And if you try to do it without giving the criers guild their cut, that's against the law, and you'll get murdered by a bunch of loud, obnoxious people with bells.
See, this is the kind of thing that I would never even consider from a complete lack of a historical perspective on things. You're just making this a lot harder for yourself at the end of the day.
But
I like it.
To me, it's part of the fun of the. I have a dark humor streak, and it's kind of like this isn't that far out. It's like in reality, they have this stuff. It's just you passively get charged sales tax for everything.
Oh yeah.
It's just part of the fun. No, but that doesn't mean we're not gonna do it, because
Right.
flying
Good.
I'm terrible at, but running away I am fantastic at.
Pretty good at. All right. Well, here's what I'm thinking. Specifically, you guys want to make sales. How I would translate that into a mechanical thing is by number of successes, right? You're trying to get at least 3. But I do think that the conditions here, you need to, as with any business, the number of people that you actually talk to and get the word out to, only a small percentage of that will be interested, and probably a smaller percentage will actually go out and seek out this particular
I can't
witch.
imagine anyone would. Why would you go out to the middle of nowhere to get wine when there's already wine in town?
Right,
But
yeah.
It's more they might want to sell the wine in town when they come around.
The
So.
goal is to
Could be.
advertise for the witch. Whether she rewards us or not is going to be a good question.
Yeah, the goal isn't to increase the witch's sales.
And that's going to be dependent on, that's going to be dependent on if she gets any more business from this. So what I'm thinking is I want you guys to make this roll. I'm going to put the target number at 6. I want you guys to get 6s or better for successes here.
All right, and what are we rolling? I got my D10 will,
definitely going to be will.
I assume it's will and presence. Do you have oratory?
No. Not at all.
So I think it's just going to be will and presence. I'm thinking leadership, but I feel like leadership is more like organizing specific people. And that's how
that's
I kind
me
of
trying to
interpret
cross
that.
purpose here.
That would be
I'll go ahead and
a
roll
whole
a
bunch
D10.
of people to
Can
go
I
on, which I think is more.
Just a way for me to assist?
I don't see why you couldn't assist if they want to get you in on this.
I don't have any presence, but Connor can go to the local bars or the taverns, wherever they serve wine, and do some negotiating with them to say, hey, there's this really good wine this person makes. They can do it on the cheap because they don't have to they don't have to press the grapes or grow the grapes or anything. So
they're not
try
paying
this wine. So it's best. It's perfectly pure. There's no wood grain in it.
You're not assisting. You're actually doing what we should be doing. Except I don't have negotiation either.
Going to the distributors, smart move.
It's a very weird bar discussion. Sit down next to a guy who's drunk. That's not good. This is good.
Well, I've gone ahead and rolled my personality of phlegmatic here. I don't care. You could do it, you could not. There's no pressure at all. Just it's wine. Enjoy some wine.
There you go. They can't smell the desperation on you, and it's helping your cause.
Right. I get to do this more nonchalantly.
I mean, I would love to try and help, since I love to achieve goals, but it's so anti-Harmon that I just can't go out there for it.
I respect that.
Actively detrimental.
Well, I mean, it's just so anti-Harmon. Harmon ain't that life. It's not him.
He does not about that hustle. Let's see. Okay, so Connor, you made some headway, but also you're dealing with people who are a little bit, they're interested. You find one of the tavern owners who says like, oh, I've heard good things about this strange magical vintages from the Doloro lands. I would be quite interested in trying some. You have any samples with you?
I'm sure we were given some so we could do this properly.
I don't think you were, unfortunately. I think you were given these, Anushka was given pamphlets and told, like, hey, just, hand these out, talk to people.
No samples.
No samples right now. And this guy will say, like, well, I can't rightly do business unless I can taste the product for myself. But if you do find yourself with some samples, you come right back here, and I'd be very interested to speak more on the matter.
Yes, I would be glad to do so if I ever do come back that way. I'll be sure to find you.
I look forward to it. In the meantime, you should try this. It's my own, my own family's label, and he brings out some ale for you, and then proceeds to talk your ear off for as long as you'll stay there about, his brewing experiments.
He'll be polite, say their talk while tip him a little bit for the liquor or the ale. That's not liquor. That's something else. It's a brew.
Yeah, I don't know. Is liquor like a thing? Back then, you never hear about it.
Liquor is like distilled alcohol, while others are brewed or like vintage.
Yeah. Did they do a lot of that? I mean, we've talked about fortified wine before.
Yeah. Italy is famous for its vineyards. I mean, alcohol, it's booze.
Sure.
So yeah, no, there's a lot of this. Most of the stuff people are drinking is the weak wine where it's got enough alcohol in it to kill the impurities, but not enough to actually be substantive enough to get you drunk.
Yeah.
But no, there's high class liquor this time period.
All right, question. Cool. Was Connor's role separate from the other two?
I'm just saying, yeah. Okay. He was rolling a different... he was using his
in
negotiation.
Right. I was just asking because in that case, it seems like Griff tapped his personality for way no reason.
I tapped it for fun.
Right. So I'm saying,
complete failure.
Raph has nothing, and then you rolled nothing, and then you tapped your 1 when you need 3 successes to win this thing. And it's like, okay.
Yeah, again, tapped it for fun more than anything. It's not a complete failure. It just doesn't go as far as it possibly could have gone.
Exactly. You probably don't know this, but of, let's say, the dozen pamphlets you handed out to various groups of people, one of them found their ways into the hands of someone who's an adventurous sort, who is a gastronome or whatever the equivalent is of a someone who seeks out exotic wines, and they might make their way over there. I'd say that's your one success. You are not given a specific time frame or time limit, although I'm going to say that for the town of Harmony, at least, you guys have kind of done your duty.
I don't know, Red. I think you just painted yourself into a corner now. Listen, all we had to do was get one person there from the pamphlet. And you said we needed 3 successes, but now you said with 1 success, this adventurer might wind up over there.
Hey, all
right.
I think that get through all the pumpkins, doesn't it?
Checkmate, atheists.
I think that you misinterpreted my meaning. I'm thinking one actual customer per success, and the success is a little more difficult, which is represented by the higher target number in my mind.
to flip this around, we don't get the reward till the quest is over. So if we do a crappy job, we'll get a crappy reward. If we do a good job, we'll get a good reward.
Look, I don't really care.
Yeah.
All the reward's going to be to me is 5 experience.
That's true.
It gives you mob fighter.
In the
Crappy, good. I'm the guy with the experience.
There you go. Well, we'll see what happens. If you guys want to go visit the witch in a few days, you can find out. If you want to get more successes before you do, you could do that as well. Like I said, there's no time limit, but we'll see when we get there.
Real question.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Yes. She's to the north. I'm trying to remember exactly how far to the north. Anushka got there in a night, so let's say probably a day's travel on foot.
South of Auroville?
South of Auroville, yeah.
All right.
On this side of the river.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you guys made some progress there. Okay. So let's assume that takes care of several days, 3 or 4 days, and Colette is going to.
Any notes back from that date?
Yeah, I think where we left that was Colette invited you back for tea. It's really hard to get a read on this one.
The second tea date, or is we still talking about the one that Anonymous showed up for after?
Yeah, you had a second tea date, and probably one that the doctor didn't bomb in on.
Sweet.
In fact, you know
have
what?
Fun, Armin. Love always blossoms in the most awkward of moments, and you sure are. That.
That's a saying.
Yeah, that just rolls right off the tongue. Thank you, Doctor.
Speaking
Well,
of more drunken sayings, I'm here all day.
Why are you
Let's
drunk?
do
It's a
this.
tea.
That's true. This is tea. This is not alcohol. This is not a wild and crazy date night. This is sort of a weird meditative thing. I don't know actually what Harmon's background is like, if he has experience in like these sort of religious things.
I mean, pointedly, I just got back from Zhangao, so.
Okay, cool. So there might be something you could probably teach her something about various tea drinking ceremonies.
Yeah, that seems likely. I went over there to learn stuff. I don't even speak the language. Some people were probably translating for me.
Probably, but you know what? She'll be very, very interested in anything that you have to tell her about Zhongguo, the Zhongyao, the foreign lands, basically the China analog in the Ironclaw setting, and yeah, rapt attention. Very, very interested in anything you have to say on that matter. Okay. She also will say, probably breaking in an awkward silence, she'll say that she managed to gather some information about this Rodolfo individual. She said that the Rodolfo that you had mentioned was a bat, and it turns out that this Rodolfo, too, is a bat. She has not heard that he's necessarily a magic user of any real description. The Rodolfo she knows is he's a scholar, a writer, possibly like a philosopher of sorts. And currently he is residing in the Lahore region of the Doloro land, which is rather nearby. It's basically, as I understand it, the region surrounding let me see. I'm just going to ping the map. Basically, a little bit to the south of Harmony, there is this Lahore. Oh, I don't have my pinger up. There is the Lahore River that divides essentially the Doloro mountainous regions from the plainlands of the Avoirdupois territory. I do believe the Doloro actually lay claim to the river and to the surrounding area. So these plains lands are kind of like Doloro territory, and that apparently there's a noble household known as the Lycée Montu. I'm gonna go with that pronunciation. That there is the Lysaemon are a family of stoats, of basically weasel-like critters who are loyal to the Doloro noble house, and they have been given custody of these lands. And currently, Rodolfo is a guest at one of their summer estates, currently presided over by the heiress Biu Lysaemon, who is a widow, and she is known for inviting scholarly guests to elaborate dinner parties. She sees herself as an intellectual of sorts, and she collects these people. And she seems to have taken a fancy to this Rodolfo character, who has reportedly been seen there at many of these events, and it is believed that he's a guest of the household. Now, unfortunately, she says that this makes it very difficult to actually get to him, as being a member of the Doloro nobility, and you guys basically being associated with a member of the Avoirdupois noble, one of the Avoirdupois noble houses. Yes, getting access to this part of the country might be challenging. To this particular estate might be challenging.
Were you saying that that the Lyor region, sorry, because the Lyor River travels all the way up this mountain pass from Bruges and up and down again, and you're indicating that the specific part that you're referring to is somewhere over here?
Yeah. So, yep, pretty much.
Like around Mount Eisen or whatever. I can't read the part that the pin is covering.
Yeah. I'm trying to recall exactly. The book made it seem like it was kind of a large territory, actually. So I'm not exactly sure where the boundaries of it are. You can see here that we have like the Lyor Ford, which is the river crossing.
Well, I just mean that if she's referring to their summer home, right? Does she actually know where their summer home is?
Yeah. Yes. You have a specific location.
Which is,
I'm gonna say.
Yeah. What can you drop a paintbrush marker or something?
Let's do it.
Maybe don't make it a dot though, since I've got the market cornered on dots.
You do have the market cornered on dots here. Let's do all right. We're going to put it right here. It is a small square. Not to scale.
Did you?
I did. Did I not do it on the right?
I don't see
it.
I mean, not unless it's the same color as the background somehow.
I'm pinging on it. It's not
sorry. Yeah, no, I was looking at Doloro territory, not in.
Yeah. No, it is on the side of the river as well.
Yeah, that's why I was confused, because you said the Lyor region, and I'm looking at the mountains. I thought the mountains area was the Lyor region.
I think it's kind of a little bit of both. I thought initially that the river divided the territories, but from some of the descriptions I read, it seems like it's not that clear cut. Seems like the Doloro.
No, I mean, I assume that the river is like a soft border, like
yeah,
the way that state lines technically are soft borders, so they're not, no one draws a line on the ground.
Right.
Yeah.
This isn't the era of hard borders. This is the era of it's wherever you can send your army fastest.
Right. So you probably have some Doloro controlled villages on this side of the river, and maybe the Avoirdupois are often pushing on the other side in raids and things. So it might be that there's farms and stuff that have changed hands multiple times over the course of the last several years or so. But yeah, this particular estate seems to, is well guarded and is smack dab in the middle of
Yeah.
I actually didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, is that a yes to that, or is that just we're waiting to hear what you say? I said sheltering him. Is what you were saying?
Sheltering him, right? He's a guest of the household,
right,
as far as you know. As far as the rumors that have drifted up to the Abbey suggest.
Great. But the problem is that he's a bat.
What you got against bats?
Well, that he can fly away is what I'm saying. It's the problem. We're mostly a grounded party. Which means if he's faster than Anushka, he's out of there no matter what.
How could anyone be faster than Nushka?
I don't know. I've never met him. Also, I don't foresee how fast Anushka can go. Well, every time that Anushka flies away, we're like under tree cover. So it's like it's
Right.
Anushka's there and then tree. I have no idea.
Also, if someone was faster than me, we'd never catch them.
That's the point. That's what I'm saying. Is that if we go to ambush this bat decides to fly away, well.
Okay. You also, I'm going to say probably in the middle of this tea, one of the acolytes will knock on the door and come over, whisper something to Colette. She seems quite troubled by this, and she asks your pardon to excuse her for a moment. She does return after about 15 minutes and says, "Oh dear, the tea is cold. Well, I have received troubling news as well. Apparently, the Raymond's has received message back from Shalon's soldier. They do not intend to send additional supports for the bandit investigation."
Why is that?
Well, it would appear that there seems to be a gathering militia army from Orville that has crossed the river and is being staged at a campsite to the north. Raymond says it's quite obvious that the Doloro attack is about to commence, and because of word of this, the generals of the Avoirdupois army are consolidating their forces and trying to organize them back up north.
What would the target of such a encampment be?
Well, she seems very troubled. She's sort of like fussing with the knot of the rope that kind of holds her whole acolyte garb together. She says, we would be a likely target, but if not us, perhaps the villages and farmlands that support us north of here. Along the river, they are not well defended.
I will push myself up from the table. I don't know if this is like a sit on the ground type of tea ceremony, or if this is we're just in chairs across from one another, what have you. I will push myself up. I will lower myself down, to put a hand on her shoulder, and I say, "I give you my vow of honor. I will let no harm come to you."
She puts a hand on your hand, and she says, "You are truly a man of honor, and some small comfort in these troubling times. I urge you not to put yourself in harm's way, for my sake. But yes, in these times, the people do need heroes to defend them."
Might I inquire if defending the town of Harmony from Tolero invasion might be gift-worthy? Goal-worthy. You've got me doing it now.
Yeah, it's infectious. That would be a goal. Yes. I will offer you guys the goal of defending the Harmony villages from the Doloro attack.
Man, I've got to protect the town. It's my namesake.
Is that your namesake?
No.
Okay.
Harmon is spelled with double A's. Hamino is spelled with a O.
Gotcha.
It just, it's a fun little play of words. You can't spell harmony without Harmon.
Without Harmon. There you go. Putting the harm in harmony.
All right.
Harmon.
Yep. We've got a harm man, but no trauma hawks.
Right over my head. Don't know that one.
It's a friend of mine made up a funny word for tomahawks he thought was cute and smart, and I'm like, dude, why don't you just call it a tomahawk?
All right, so
Okay.
yeah, this is the awkward moment of the date where I don't know anything to do, so I guess we're just calling it there. And then
All right. Yeah. She looks away. She's obviously grateful to you, but unsure how to express herself.
I mean, we've
In
already
this
covered that she has
situation.
no idea if she has a vow of celibacy or not. So
Yeah.
that's something we'll figure out when things get a little bit more heated. Right now, though, the tea is cold, and I have information to share with Connor. I've already given her a vow.
All right. You got to break the news to your party. When you find Connor, he is. I'm gonna say, Connor. I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna.
Drunk with the barman.
You're drunk with the barman. You you can be at the bar. That makes a lot of sense. At the bar, Connor. At the bar, Connor, you have been approached once again by Norbert. You'll remember Norbert is kind of the gangly equine youth who you guys rescued from the stocks, who accompanied you searching for the bandits. He's the one who burned down the signal tower, and he is considers himself fully to blame, as does Raymond, the captain of the guard, who has yet to allow him back into active duty. He still pretty much blames him for it, maybe irrationally. But yes, Norbert has approached you, Connor, and he seems to be on a mission. He says, Sir, I hate to ask this of you, but as I have not been reinstated as guard, I have no access to the barracks or the weaponry. I ask if you would perhaps lend me a weapon that I could carry with me into battle.
I see. What is your weapon of choice?
I've been trained with the spear or half spear. I no longer deserve to carry a blade, but a spear would do fine for me, sir.
Very well. Give me a moment out of character.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the cost of it.
Right. It shouldn't be that expensive.
I don't know. Did pretty well
I'm
with
pretty sure
iron
it is one
rod.
of the cheapest weapons you could possibly get.
He'll give him enough money for a half spear and a shield.
All right.
Do you have any armor, child?
He says, no, just the, what did we decided he was wearing that quilted Under Armour Gambison, thank you. Yes. But no, he doesn't have any better armor than that.
And he'll give him 12 more dinar. Get yourself some armor to cover that Gambison.
Sir, I am forever in your debt. He, prostrates himself in front of you, and he says, when I regain my title, sir, I shall sing your praises and hope that one day I might I might reach a rank that I may join your personal guard or something. Actually, I really don't know how the succession would work there. I guess if you're already in the Avoirdupois army, you're probably above like the personal guard of a.
I'd like to think that his tone of voice is exactly what you said. I'll join your personal guard or something.
Or something. Yeah. Like he's desperate for a way to repay you, and feels that he is incredibly unworthy for the gifts that you're granting him. And once again, seems like he's on a mission, but has not mentioned what it is.
I don't have the proper inquiry to get that out of him. But let's see, if he did say talking about regaining his title, he said title and not rank, so he's nobility, so etiquette would work on him.
In this case, I wouldn't even say it's necessarily a role. You could ask him. I mean, if you asked him and then he was refusing to give up any
Okay.
information, I'd have you roll, right?
Connor would definitely ask, well,
Yep.
what is this dread errand that you're going on that you need to be armed and armored? So,
Um. He kind of looks to the left, but he says, Raymond, the captain, he still holds me responsible. They say that he's not sending his men to search for these bandits. He still doesn't seem to. He still believes that the witch is behind it. And once we heard that there were no reinforcements coming, we've all but abandoned the neighboring villages. So I intend to go myself. I'll find this bandit captain, and I'll kill him, or I'll die in the process. But at least my honor will be
Norbert,
restored.
he almost killed all of us. You going alone is a suicide mission. If you wish to pay me back, which you do not have to do, but if you do, you'll have to survive. And to do that, your best bet would be to aid us in the defending of these villages that are going to be attacked. In that way, you can regain your honor.
Oh, that's pretty good. Do you want to give me a persuasion roll?
That would be negotiation, wouldn't it?
I could give you negotiation. Yeah, you're offering something. You're offering an alternative.
Let's see what my negotiation favor to use is.
Yeah, let's see. I'm actually gonna roll
With women, so it's not going to work on him. But
That's
I don't think
something
I
you
can
didn't
get
know
etiquette to
about.
do anything.
something you didn't know about Norbert. No, I think in this case, etiquette probably would not apply. I could see you
Yeah, I
maybe
didn't think so.
tapping nobility, but you probably don't need it. You have two pretty solid rolls there.
Well, that first one was for an entirely different thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at
The 2 and
right.
6.
Gotcha. So
Yeah, the
you
1
rolled
and
a
6 is the one I rolled for Norbert.
All right. Well, you've got a success, and I'm going to give it to you. Norbert, you can tell he's kind of attracted to this sort of like valiant death in the pursuit of getting this bandit king, but he can't deny the logic. And even though it sort of reinforces this feeling of cowardice he has that he's trying to overcome about himself, he says, "If you promise not to shelter me, not to try to defend me, I will gladly lay my life on the line in the defense of this town. If
I
you
would
think
ask
that
nothing less than any of my men.
then it would be an honor to serve under your command." And he, once again strikes takes the knee, head in elbow, kind of full bow there.
Yeah, he puts a hand on his shoulder and kind of lifts it to like say, follow my hand. Don't kneel to me right now. You've done that enough.
Yep, he's choking back tears. And he says, "All right, well, I'm ready to leave immediately. Well, as soon as you are."
Very well. Is there any other equipment you think you might need? I would not have you coming with us unprepared.
He says, "As it is, all of these arms are wasted on one such as myself. I could not ask for anything more than this. I would gladly fight your enemies off with a stick and a sharp rock.
I'd rather you
And
be
be
more
glad for
effective.
both."
I'd rather you be more effective.
Of course, my lord. Yeah, but yeah, no, he's not asking for anything more than what you've already given him.
Okay, I'm just looking up how much I'm going to owe the shopkeep for what I'm buying.
Good.
Long sword, 3 denarii. And I gave him a long sword, a leather armor, a shield. No, I gave him a long spear. Okay. That costs a little bit more, actually, but that's a better formation weapon.
Yeah. All right. And you, I would say that Harmon, you kind of come in on this scene here.
Oh, one last question before we get to Harbin. I'm sorry, but I'm very
No,
sorry.
no.
But with wealth, it's assumed I would have like a stipend or something. That's how my credit recharges every month. Would it be
Yeah.
possible that I actually have a salary of coin as well, or is that out of the question?
I think wealth just recharges when you repay your debt or something like that, isn't it?
Or when time
Hmm.
passes, if you have
Yeah,
like
yeah, when
credit
time passes as
and
well.
income.
Because I don't think wealth actually gives you money.
Yeah.
No.
God, wealth
Okay.
is just mentioned so many times in Ironclaw.
I know. It can be.
It's supposed to solve issues that wealth could solve because money is complicated.
Yeah.
Right, but I mean, yeah, I don't think you get an allowance from wealth, right? I think that's the question. Basically, a stipend.
Or just being a noble in general.
It's supposed
You know, with
to
lands and money and
Well, yeah,
You're
I mean, that would be you throwing your weight around, though.
basically you be buying stuff on credit because I mean this gets into a whole crazy issue of rich people are rich because they don't have to pay money for anything. I can get rich by writing a bunch of checks. I mean it's not so much that you could liquidate money by tapping wealth and getting a bunch of money.
But wealth is already tapped in this instance, what we're talking about.
Right. The problem is like if you want the problem is if it's tapped right now, you don't have any liquid slush funds. You'll have to wait until you collect the next tax time, and that money trickles back up to you.
yeah. Like I just asked because I thought I only had 30 denarii and I was about to spend 27 of it. Then I looked at what I had. I had double that. So I'm good for now.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you also, if you have the nobility gift, just walk up there and say, fuck it, I'm a noble. Give me what I want. Tap nobility.
I can see that. Yep. You could throw your weight around that way.
Just have 2 tapped gifts waiting to recharge.
Yeah. It's tricky. It's definitely a tricky mechanical thing because nobility in this world is such like a trump card, right? Like you can kind of play it in many situations that don't involve other nobles, right?
Like you can't use nobility to get out of your debt because you
might own your
you
lands, but the IRS owns your soul.
well, you can't just show up and say I'm a noble. You have to give me what I want. They would say no. Unless you got a letter from the king, get the hell out of here. Who's going to pay me back? You can use your nobility to defray a creditor, and that's different. So, I mean, the goal was to try and invoke social situations here. Connor's nobility gives him privilege. It doesn't necessarily give him wealth. Wealth is what gives him wealth.
It gives him high justice, which means you can steal it outright and then hope to play the court.
Did I mention I enjoy black humor? It's kind of like that's a little way more true to the medieval era than we'd like to admit.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the performance of lawyer as my next option.
Oh, so you're taking a foolery career.
Objection!
Objection!
Anyway, my next scene is with Connor anyway, so...
Yay.
Yeah, and this could happen, actually, maybe this happens before Norbert makes his request, since you already at that point knew of the attacks. But I assume that, yes, Harmon would tell the rest of the group, would tell Connor specifically, since he's kind of the leader here.
Well, I was going to go to Connor first because I was going to implore Connor that we need to form some sort of localized defense against a possible incursion from the Doloro forces north of here in Orville.
Yes, this seems like a good time to raise a local militia. Do you think you could help me with that?
No, that's why I went to you.
Very well.
Hopefully they're all mistaken and they're just putting on a play of the show Orville. I tell these jokes just for myself.
Well, then,
Okay. Well, I mean,
looks like
Connor, you already have the makings of a small militia here. You've got, 5 people following you now? 6 if you count Norbert?
Have they arrived?
Yeah. I'm going to say this has been several days, and they have arrived.
I do appreciate the confidence that Connor's irregulars have the military might to take on a camped army. We, who did not want to go after a bandit camp in the middle of the woods, are willing to march on a...
We never confirmed it was an army. We backed away and got scared.
No, the bandit camp, I'm saying. There's a different...
Exactly,
the bandit camp and an army are different things. The army is north towards Orville. The bandit camp was in the woods. Just two different things, Griff.
Okay.
Let me... This X will be the location of this militia army that is forming of Doloro soldiers, and we should also put the witch's hut up here too, because she is also north. I'm going to give a purple X, and this will be the location of... Actually, that's pretty far out.
Oh yeah, I thought it was north. I thought it was somewhere in this region right here. That's what I was asking you before when you said yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll also share the information about the summer home that's currently holding or giving shelter to that bat whose name escapes me currently. Starts with an R.
Rodolfo.
Yeah.
Rodolfo. Okay.
But that is a much more tenuous situation, specifically because he can run away at any time and escape all of us. Well, the problem, Raph, is that only one of us could chase after him if he goes to the sky. And while you do have 2 guns on you, I don't know how fast he is, or how fast you are. Because again, every time you've flown away from me, I've been undercover.
I'm pretty sure I can I'm...
Right, but if he runs every turn, you couldn't run and shoot, right? So...
Actually, I can. I'm a flying fighter.
Right.
No, I mean...
but does the run action still send you reeling, doesn't it?
I was going to specify all the little kids with their pumped up kicks better run faster than my bullet. I could catch him.
You're sure? You're like 90% at least sure you could catch him?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, if the army's still camping, we might be able to pursue this option before the defense of the town.
There's only, one flyer.
Well, we only need to catch the one flyer. The other flyers can go fuck themselves.
Well,
unless you think he has a bunch of lookalikes.
Capturing him is more difficult than killing him.
I mean, were we supposed to catch him? I don't really remember the goal here.
You haven't received a goal yet specifically for this one.
Yeah.
No, sorry. I'm using the word goal here as catch-all. Like, I don't remember why this guy is important. I don't know. Do we need to catch him or kill him?
Yeah.
It's responsible for burning down the tower, so presumably want to at least stop him, and barring that, maybe get some extra information. That would seem correct, right?
That's it.
So don't kill him is what I'm hearing.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens in the heat of battle.
I mean, if we go there.
If we go there, yes. This is also true.
Because the army is, again, camping, but I don't know how long they're camping for. Don't know what they're waiting for. So my assumption that we can reach this guy, get him, and get back in time before the army marches is all assumption. Sorry, Connor, you were about to say something.
Well, I was going to have Connor warn the local military presence about the...
Oh, they know.
Attack. Oh, they know? Okay.
They know because my information comes from them indirectly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then, never mind.
I mean, just to tell you that to save you the embarrassment of going to tell them things they already know. Because we're going to be playing a game of telephone at this point, where I tell you something and I'm a little bit wrong because the person who told me heard something a little bit wrong. So you're going to go tell them incorrect news.
Yeah, we don't want that happening.
Especially if they think that your news is more informed than their news, and they make corrections on wrong information.
All right. And then the war was lost.
Well, so I mean, we have three major things on the table right now. We have Rodolfo down there, camping it out in a summer home, having the time of his life, I assume. Who knows? We have the witch, who is in between us and the camping army of Doloro militiamen. And then we have the
Hidden in a
camping
grove.
Doloro militiamen.
Well, I suppose if the witch is in fact this Rodolfo fellow, and they're in the safety of someone who's known and they have a known location, we could always go there and we don't have to go anywhere near an army.
Wait, are you... Is Rodolfo supposed to be a witch? I'm now confused by being confused. I'm saying
Yes,
that
the implication is that they might be the same person.
But no, I'm sorry.
Interesting.
When I was referring to the witch, I meant the witch that you guys are selling wine for.
Oh,
They are in between us and the army.
I was confused as well.
Yeah, Griff, if you're looking at the map, the purple X is the witch that sells wine, which is my assumption, right? Red?
Right, yes.
Yeah, okay. And then the red X is the militia army. And of course,
Yes,
the red
also correct.
square being the summer home that Rodolfo is currently putting his feet up in.
Right. The red square is the... Yep.
So...
We should get a handout to put notes into.
It seems like it would be incredibly reckless to send people to go wine tasting at the Witch if the army is going to march south on us here. It's going to catch a lot of people unprepared. It seems like we can't complete that goal right now.
Well, no, what we should do is have Anushka drop a bunch of those flyers on top of the encamped army, and when they pass it by, they'll all get drunk, and then we roll in and kill them all.
Three with one stone. I'm down for this. I mean, if they're a militia, it means they're incredibly untrained and, undisciplined, which means a bunch of them might go for wine. That might just work.
preying on their unprofessionalism, I see.
Well, they are a militia. Again, a militia, they're not trained soldiers. They're a bunch of townsfolk. And, they're out here in the middle of nowhere, away from everything that they hold dear. They might just be down for a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I actually had a good idea. Holy shit.
I mean, I'm down for it. I was laughing at it at first because it sounded ridiculous, but when you get down to the nitty-gritty details, they are militiamen. They're separated from everything that they hold dear. They might just be down for a drink. Who knows what rations and shit they have with them right now.
Yeah, this is some good, fresh shit. It wouldn't be all sour and vinegary like whatever they're carrying.
Give it a shot, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. This is quite interesting. So you guys will have to figure out your approach, I guess. It's correct me if I'm wrong. I've got a different read on the situation. So you want to approach the militia army with the flyers for the wine, or you want to go get some of the wine from the witch first?
Carpet bomb them with flyers.
Carpet bomb them with flyers. All right.
Just blanket the encampment with flyers for the wine that's literally just south of them.
Oh my gosh,
Okay.
You're going to send them straight into a mass of vines that are carnivorous.
Mm.
Is that area filled with that kind of thing?
I believe Anushka said so.
It's okay.
Well, perfect. That's even double time. That's perfect.
I haven't told anybody about the carnivorous vines.
Well, I mean, that I don't know it
never
is
mind.
even better. I'm just saying that it's all about, messing up their army, and at the same time, we're completing a goal of sending people to get wine. So, every part of this works for me.
Okay.
I know that's usually red flag for Griff to try and stop it from happening. Oh no, if Theta likes it, something's wrong here. Gotta stop it.
Oh, no. I mean, this actually sounds like sensible and everything. You've outdone yourself.
Now, before you start giving me props, it is Connor's idea.
Well, see, that's why I like it so.